when I think about a liberal arts education, I definitely think that how important it is to be exposed to a wide range of information so you can speak to different people. Having an increase in the number of people on campus who are diverse, because then you'd have an opportunity to use what you're learning from these theoretical talks and then to apply them in a real life situation. And I think that that's when the rubber hits the road for a lot of people, when they have to apply something that's theoretical. So I think that, you know, as an institution, it's a great place, Keene State, to allow for some of those interactions to take place while having people to help you navigate that. So when you get out into the, you know, working outside of Keene or outside of New Hampshire, you're like, oh God, I've had this experience. I know how to pull on this information that I've had. Yeah, gender is one of those complicated ones because I don't think we really understand fully the whole construct of gender. So I believe that because of that, people who don't, their physical gender or notations of their sex don't match their concept of their gender. So for those people, we are putting them at a disadvantage.
I would love to see a college, especially in New Hampshire, that was completely friendly to trans people and open to the trans community. That it was a place where I could send my friends who are trans identified, knowing that they would be welcome and accepted on campus and never have to face any major challenges like I did or that other trans people have had to face. I think that would be amazing.
I was asking the question, how would we know we have been successful at Keene State around diversity and multiculturalism? That was my question. Mm-hmm. And you know, so people threw around some things, and then one person was kind of embarrassed to say this, but she said, well, I think we would prove we're successful when we don't need you. And I said, I agree with that. Why, you know, I mean, I agree with that. So kind of this whole idea of, I think it would be successful, or I think that the legacy that I would want to leave is that, one, that it becomes such a part of the institutional fiber that you wouldn't need to have this position. That everyone is thinking about any program that they put on, any lecture that they prepare, any presentation that they do, that as part of the canvas, that they would have the idea of how does this relate to diversity, how does this push our students a little bit more on thinking outside of their way of thinking or the box that they are in, you know, when it's just not even, it's just like second nature. And so I hope to work myself out of a job. And some people would say, wow, I'll do it soon, you know. But I think that that's an important piece to me, is that there wouldn't be a need for the position, that people will think about it as being essential to everything that they do.
I think I've learned that the best way to make social change is through intimate groups and talking about conversation, and it's just bringing awareness through conversation. And you know, if I can get like 5 or 6 people that want to talk about, you know, their parts of their identity and talk about ways that they feel oppression and privilege, I think that's how real change starts. And you can't force it. But in terms of, like, I guess racial, which is what, you know, people really identify with, I don't think we are diverse along those lines. I do think that in like regards to class even, I think that there is a diversity there. But that's also something like, you know, an elephant in the room no one talks about. Nothing can change, or I have no power, then that's the way that things are going to stay, and there's going to be the hierarchies, and there's going to be the oppression that is felt on many different levels. So I think it starts with the conversation.